start by saying, Ronnie, are you like the busiest actor in Hollywood? I think you have 3 things coming out tomorrow. What?
Yeah, I think it's just happenstance. I think Conjuring. The Conjuring 3 is coming out tomorrow. I know we're talking about Death in Texas, but that was originally supposed to come out last year.
Yes.
And then it was just happenstance that when we struck a deal with Vertical for Death in Texas, they put it, they distributed it on June 4th, which was the same as Conjuring. And I'm not to sound hokey, but I'm counting my blessings. I think I just feel very grateful.
Well, you should. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with having lots of good work, and you're giving us great performances. Now, Death in Texas, holy mackerel, what a ride. And I got to say, I'm watching this and I'm watching your character, this guy, Billy Walker, who was in prison. He comes out and then he's got this whole big surprise waiting for him with his mom. What was it that initially sold you on this script and this character?
Scott Windhauser, a friend of mine, wrote this many years back, and I was down shooting a film called Joe with David Gordon Green.
Yes.
Down in Texas, and that was a Nick Cage film. It was kind of a Southern fried drama, and so he came down to visit on set, and he cooked up his own Southern fried drama, and so he had that for a few years, and then we got connected up with Alan Gilmer, who produced it with us, and we were off to the races. So
yeah, how do you get into the mindset of a guy like this?
Well, I think it's for one, it's a guy who maybe kind of danced on the wrong side of the law, and who had every intention to fly straight.
Right.
But when he got out of prison, he was kind of confronted with an impossible circumstance. And you give anyone really, an impossible circumstance, like particularly one that has to do with their mother, then I think it's interesting to tap in, to explore all the possibilities of where you would be willing to go to save her.
Well, I was going to say, there's nothing we won't do for our moms, right?
That's right. Yeah. I mean,
Mom needs the liver. I don't care how she's going to get it. I'm going to get it for her.
That's right. Right.
And speaking of moms, I mean, you get to work with Lara Flynn Boyle. Oh my goodness! I mean,
my favorite. She's my favorite person in the world. She can't make it out. I think she's working. She just texted me a few hours ago. I'm sending you all my Irish luck, and I love you so much. She's fantastic. She's a terrific actor, and we were lucky to have her. And we became instant friends. And that really facilitated with the performance on screen. I think she's just great. She's just this depth of emotion, and she has a sense of humor, and we were just so lucky to have her. And aside from turning in what I think was a phenomenal performance, I have a friend for life in her.
Yeah, she's fantastic. Yeah. And also, I mean, again, this cast really is quite amazing.
Incredible.
Steve Lang, of course, but Bruce Dern. I mean, come on, Bruce Dern with an eye patch. I'm sold. Done.
Right? I know. Me too. I mean, we have what I love about. Well, Bruce Dern kind of was a mentor of mine. And we did a film together back in 2008 that I wrote and produced.
Yeah.
And we had the same manager for a while, and and in that time he had this like meteoric rise with his Oscar nomination for Nebraska.
Yeah.
And we kind of stayed in close contact, and thankfully he was available when we were producing this film, and our producer Alan Gilmer was a big fan of his, and of course Bruce Dern is most known as the guy who shot John Wayne. And,
yes.
And some people might know this, but he received like hate mail for years, and it almost derailed his career, because he was the only guy, the first and maybe the only guy who ever shot John Wayne.
Right.
And in this movie, not to give anything away, we have a little resolution to that.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Let's proceed.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fun to watch you because, like I say, you're such a busy actor. You're in almost everything. Like you've had a pretty steady career, my friend. What is it though when you get a script, an idea, whatever thrown at you? Do you have some kind of criteria at this point as to what you want to do or why you take a role?
Well, that's a great question, because I kind of got my footing in this career playing villains and bad guys, and that's sort of the way in which I was typecast, if you will.
Sure.
But I had a son about 5 years ago, and playing these roles, I never thought I'd have any consideration. It's what they hired me for. I loved doing it. It was fun, and I still enjoy playing the roles, but it just became harder when I was looking at my son, a living being, and I'm thinking, well, gosh, he's one day he's gonna say, Dad, I want to see you in a movie.
Yeah.
And for one, that I had a little more consideration of my son, and so there's that. So I tried. So this is really one of the first roles in which, even though I'm on the wrong side of the law, at least I'm at least whatever decisions I'm making are at least coming from a good place,
Yeah.
So I try to find a character that's compelling, that's flawed, and especially these days that ultimately has a good core, and if you're a character that's flawed and has a good core, I mean, irregardless of what the script is, that's such a great start. So I look for flawed characters, anti-heroes, and I think that we've kind of the anti-heroes gone away. Back in the 70s, we had these great anti-heroes,
Right.
and now we don't have them as much anymore. And I think that this is a good. I think it's kind of a throwback film in that regard. If you have Yeah,
I agree with you. It totally feels like that. Before we wrap, I just want to go back to Conjuring for a minute because, these movies are so popular. They really creep us out, like, because it's based on reality. I was lucky enough to do the junkets for the first two films, and I got to interview Lorraine Moore, and I met her before she passed away. Yeah,
unreal.
I have the interview on my site, and I'm telling you, I watched it back it was her and James Wan together, and it just gave me goosebumps to listen back to it because she was incredible. I was wondering, when you make a film like this, and it just kind of, like I said, it creeped me out to be near her just because of the experiences that she had, and it's amazing to me. And that she kept all the stuff in her home, and like
Unreal.
What kind of creepy things happen when you make a film like this based on reality? Like, do you have any kind of creepy moments that kind of seep in? Do you believe in that kind of stuff?
First of all, I do believe. I got a quick anecdote for you.
Okay.
So I was leaving to shoot The Conjuring, and our son was about 2.5, 3 then. He was never the kind of kid that was afraid of the dark. He never saw things that weren't there. He was just, he just never expressed anything like that to us.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm always a big believer. I'm a believer in the supernatural, all that. I'm all in on it. So I kind of, the morning before I left, I went to our room and I said, I didn't even know who I was praying to, but I said, spirit guides, just do me, because he was sleeping in our room at the time. Spirit guides, just do me a favor. Just look after my family while I'm gone. I got on a plane that night. My wife calls and says, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm like, what? She's like, we're in the living room. You'll never believe what just happened. I said, what? She goes, Leo just stood up in bed and said, Mommy, who are those people right there?
What?
And she goes, who? She goes, right there. There's an old man and a little boy and a little girl.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And she was freaked out. And more, it would be one thing if this was just a continuation of like a child's imagination, but he had never had that he had never seen things that weren't there. He didn't have imaginary friends. Exactly. He was never afraid of anything. So it could obviously be coincidence, but the fact that it happened on that day and I prayed for spirit guides, I don't know, seems kind of freaky to me.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Wow, that just gave me chills. Wow, that's an amazing story.
Yeah,
well, listen, congratulations on everything, and great performance again in Death in Texas.
Thank you, Bonnie.
I'm thrilled to talk to you today, and just keep safe and healthy, and hopefully next time it'll be in person, okay?
Thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate you.
Take care.
All right.
Have a nice
Bye-bye.
day. Okay.
All right, bye.